So welcome back. So this video is going to be an update on a video that I did at the end of last year when we were trying to choose a method for putting in beds. So we said we'd put in 3 different methods of beds here in this garden, and we put these in last winter. So we went with a traditional no dig, where we put down our cardboard and composted here on my left. This middle bed here, we grew garlic in this over winter. This was just a lazy bed, and the bed on the far right here, this was double dug and screened. And we were just trying to compare which bed we thought was best, time wise, and productivity wise, and yields. We also had a 4th bed, which is, it's quite narrow. It's maybe a foot wide. We grew our peas here. We just put some timber, some planks and some old timber along the side of the fence here, and we grew a massive amount of peas in some compost, which again was no dig. So we've just cleared out these 2 beds here on the right the last 2 days. So we had a massive amount of broad beans, which we've been making falafel, and possibly we're going to store some of them. And the bed here, the no dig bed, the lazy bed, we grew almost 200 big cloves of garlic, or 200 bulbs of garlic, which are drying here now behind us. As for the no dig bed on the left, this has been it hasn't been quite successful. So we've actually planted into this bed around 5 times on 5 different occasions, and there's been issues every single time we've planted into this bed. We planted last year. I chanced planting some salads in there, but it was too late in the year and they died. I had 2 lots of again salads and brassicas that got wiped out by slugs, and I had 2 lots of brassicas get wiped out by the hens. So this garden here, we've been putting up barriers and trying to keep the hens out again and again and again. I've just put the last of the defences in here now this evening, but they keep getting in. I'm confident now though at the moment that it's pretty secure. So before I replant these beds again, I feel like it is secure. So we went camping last week, we came back, everything was wiped out. So in terms of beds and what I think for time wise and for productivity wise, I have to say again that the lazy bed was definitely the winner in my eyes. If I had the money to be buying in compost, I would have went with no dig beds in the garden, but for the resources we had at the start of the year, which was very little, it was our first year in this garden, we hadn't made any compost, we went with the lazy bed. And for the garlic, it was absolutely fantastic. We had some really lovely big bulbs of garlic, and it was minimum effort. The bed itself here, I dug it on my own, and I had it dug in an afternoon. It was quite fast. Most of the other beds, it was from this that we dug most of the other beds behind us here in the garden as well as lazy beds. And as for preparation, again, I found that the double dug bed, even though it was double dug, it felt quite compacted. I broad forked it. I forked it, so I stuck the tines of the fork in the depth, and I loosened the soil, and I'm going to add a layer of compost to both these beds. But this bed here, the lazy bed, I was surprised at how the vegetation was after breaking down. The only negative I will say with the lazy beds is around the edges. There's quite a lot of grass and weeds grow through, but I think the pros outweigh the cons with the lazy beds, just for speed and efficiency, and and it just seemed like a great space to grow in, you know. It was easy compared to like the double dig bed on the right. It took two of us around 7 hours to dig a bed that was smaller than the lazy bed, that's approximately 14 hours manpower compared to maybe 2.5 hours manpower for the lazy bed. So in my eye, the lazy bed wins hands down. Again, going forward with this lazy bed, I feel like it's in the position now that I can just manage this with no dig from here on out. So from here on out, like if anyone is on a budget and they want to install, if you're on a budget and you want to install beds, I'd go with lazy beds and make your compost as much as you can. So I've got about 2 square meters of compost being made at the moment, and I've got about another meter that I've made last winter left over. So that's going to be added to this bed, and all my other beds, which are mostly lazy beds, will be getting compost that I make this year, and we'll be going with no dig from here on out. So that's it from the video today, just my opinion on what the best form of beds, especially for someone that's on a budget. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.